Class is in session. MLB Hitting the Book show. It is Friday, September 19th. Ian Cameron with you. Connor Mack will be here in just a moment, and we are ready to break down this Friday MLB card. This is our second to last Friday edition of the show, and that will be all. As far as full shows when it comes to Major League Baseball is concerned, we're probably going to do some short form videos or something for people that want to join the Hitting the Books YouTube channel as a member and a subscriber. And also, for those people that get on board with that, we'll probably give you some bonus content throughout the MLB playoffs. But as far as a 30-minute to 1 hour show is concerned, that'll be it as of next Friday. So we're counting down the days here in the MLB regular season, but still some good wagering opportunities out there on the board. So with that in mind, let's get into it. We will begin with the Chicago Cubs taking on the Cincinnati Reds. We have pretty much even money here, minus 110 both sides, 8 the total, shaded to the over. Battle of lefties here where we've got Shota Imanaga Davida, honey. Shota Imanaga for the Cubs, and we've got Nick Lodolo on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. When you look at this game, obviously Chicago has clinched a playoff spot. They are not going to catch the Milwaukee Brewers for first in the NL Central, 6 games back, pretty much locked and secured into their position. Not a team that needs to go balls to the wall in the final week of the regular season. Cincinnati's the total opposite. They need every win they can, as they are still just a game and a half behind, 2 games behind the New York Mets for the third and final wild card spot. So just from a motivation standpoint, it's probably either bet Reds or you pass. And I did take the Reds last night. Now, part of that was fading the Cubs after clinching the playoff spot. They had their little dugout or clubhouse celebration after clinching the playoff spots. It was a good spot to fade the Cubs. This is a little bit different. Not to mention Imanaga is a very capable pitcher, very consistent. Lodolo has also struggled a bit 2 of his last 3 starts where he's been hit around a little bit. But just motivationals alone, Cincinnati for me, small bet. Because, again, I like Imanaga's form, but the Reds clearly have a lot more at stake tonight than the Chicago Cubs. All right, Athletics and Pittsburgh Pirates. Luis Severino, Mitch Keller, the pitching matchup here. Even money, minus 110, 8.5 the total. I like the A's. A's are playing good ball. Luis Severino, we mentioned out at home in Sacramento, he's had his issues this year and his struggles, but on the road he's been a lot better throughout the course of the season. That has been pretty evident from the beginning. His overall ERA is still a 4.82, but he's got a 3.11 road ERA entering this start. So a pretty sharp home road split as far as Severino is concerned. Wouldn't shock me if he rolls in and pitches well here against a pretty feeble at times Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. And we'll see if that obviously continues here in this game tonight. This is a Pirates team that has really gone downhill, 1-9 in their last 10 games. This was a team you could usually rely on to win at home. They have still a very good home record, 42-36, but not even the home record at PNC Park is saving them. They just got swept by the Chicago Cubs in 3 straight games and only scored 5 runs in those games. So I like the A's here, even money. Severino I like more than Keller. Keller's a pitcher that's obviously had his struggles this year. Now, he's been actually okay the last couple starts, but the overall numbers still are not that great for Mitch Keller on the season. 4.17 home ERA. A's are just playing much better baseball. So I like the A's here, minus 110 over the Pirates. All right, Atlanta and Detroit. We've got the Detroit Tigers, minus 115 home favorites, 9 the total. Charlie Old Man Morton against his old team, and Bryce Elder for the Atlanta Braves. I mean, for me, I'm taking Atlanta. I know Detroit is all of a sudden in a situation where they need to start winning some games because they now only have a 3.5 game lead over the surging, red-hot Cleveland Guardians, who just swept them in Detroit this week. And, you would think at some point Detroit's got to get going, but I don't like much at all of what we're seeing out of Detroit. They're not hitting. Bullpen hasn't been as good. Starting pitching's been okay, but it hasn't overcome the issues. Charlie Morton has not been as good the last month or so. 7.48 ERA for Morton in his last 5 starts, which isn't great. So it's hard to, even in a game that they need to turn this shit around and start winning some games to try to hold off Cleveland, who are all of a sudden alive again to win the AL Central. But they're just not in any good form right now. And as bad as things have been or up and down, I should say, as things have been at times with Bryce Elder. And he did get knocked around by the Astros, 6 runs, 4.1 innings in his last start. But before that, he was, giving up 2 runs or less, in every recent start. So I think he's capable of bouncing back. And this Braves team is finishing out the season strong. Now granted, playing Washington in that last series, but still sweeping the Nationals. It means this team is still, giving you a good effort nightly. And Detroit is just in a really big funk right now. So I could only look at the Atlanta side here with Morton's recent form faltering. Kind of lean to the over here. Now, again, Detroit hasn't been hitting, but I could see them maybe getting some offense going. I definitely think Atlanta can hit Morton, who hasn't been as sharp lately. So Braves and over would be the lean here for me in this one. C-Mac is now with us in the house. What do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know why you want your money on the Tigers. One thing I think a little bit is Elder pitched so good and he got ripped finally his last start. He had like 4 really, really good starts, so maybe he could pitch well in this one. And yeah, these late games, I just think got to be on the Braves or nothing. I mean, the Tigers just limping here. You talked about the offense, the pitching, hasn't really been there. And then when they've had some good starts, they get no runs. It's just been a rough go. So, but it's not a game I want to be involved. With these 2 pitchers, I kind of do lean over. I just don't know. I didn't bet it, so I just lean that way.
Did you have any opinion on Cubs, Reds, A's, Pirates?
No.
Anything there? No.
Cubs, Reds, I looked at this under. I don't trust the pitchers a little bit right now, how they've been with Imanaga. And Cubs have some good numbers off Lodolo. The under is what I was looking at, but I stayed off.
Yeah, it's that time of year where I don't love Lodolo's form, but as I mentioned in that game, it's just there's so much more to play for the Reds. Like the Cubs are locked into their spot.
Sure.
They're not winning the division. They're going to be in the wild card. Cincinnati's battling for their playoff lives, trailing the Mets. So just motivation alone, it's Reds or nothing for me.
I agree. Lines dropped a little bit, but yeah. I mean, they're still, even money, even around their first 5.
And then I mentioned earlier, I like the A's with Severino. He's pitched well on the road. Pittsburgh can't get out of their own way, so I took the A's there in that game against the Pirates. All right, Yankees and Orioles. We've got the Yankees minus 120 road favorites, 9 the total. Will Warren against Trevor Rogers. I like Baltimore here. I get it. The Yankees are playing well. I mean, they won the series against Minnesota. Max Fried, a great start last night. They shut out the Orioles. But I have been backing the one time I've backed Baltimore lately has been every time Trevor Rogers has been on the mound. This guy's pitched great for the Baltimore Orioles. Like it's been really something to watch how well this guy has pitched for Baltimore. His numbers are really, really good. Entering this game with a 1.44 ERA on the season. He lost to Toronto in his last start. That's his first loss in a very long time, but he only gave up 1 run. They just didn't hit. And they ended up losing that game 6-1. But he's pitched great, Trevor Rogers. And Will Warren is good at home. He is not so good on the road. His road numbers continue to be problematic. He got bombed by the Red Sox in that first inning Sunday night last weekend. His road ERA is way worse than his home ERA. So I actually like Baltimore in this spot tonight. I like him. And I'll split it, first 5 and full game on the Baltimore Orioles tonight. I'm backing Rogers. I've been backing him a lot. I'll take him again here tonight as a small home dog. C-Mac, what do you think here? Yankees, Orioles?
Yes. I mean,
how do you not?
I'm a little worried. I'm worried like one of these days he's going to have a bad start. He just keeps going out there and giving up 1 or 2 runs. I mean, 1 and 4 straight. I mean, he's eating innings, 6-7 innings every start. Yeah, it's the O's. O's are nothing in this game. That's it.
Nationals and Mets. We've got the Mets minus 220 home favorites, 8.5 the total. Alvarez and Sproat, the pitching matchup here. The Mets are starting to, show a little sign of life with their starting pitchers. Like they got some young guys they can build up around for the future. Jonah Tong is one of them, and he pitched a really good game yesterday against San Diego. This is another guy they've got a little bit of hope that he could be a pretty solid arm for them in the future here. Sproat, who's going to get the start here for the New York Mets in this game. It'll be Andrew Alvarez for the Nationals, who's been kind of working in a spot start role. Actually, his numbers as a spot starter haven't been that bad either. So I'm kind of thinking this could be an under. But like I said, I would look more toward first five with these two pitchers. No bet for me. I mean, I'm not laying minus 220 with the Mets. That being said, they look like they're starting to figure things out. They've won 3 of their last 4 after that horrific losing streak that almost took them right out of the wild card spot. They've steadied the ship here the last few games, the New York Mets, but I'm still not laying minus 220. Pass for me. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, there's no way this price with this Mets team. I wouldn't do it. Playing good baseball or not. So, and I don't know about, with Sprout here if this is. I mean, he is at home, which works out. Mets started finally losing home games in that bad stretch. This is Nats or nothing. The value's too big on them, especially first 5. But I worry about the left-hander here. He looks pretty good in the spot starts like you talked about in Alvarez. And I just think he could get hit. But other than that, to me, unless the Mets just, the bats are alive here, but this team to me is very good. Do you trust this team laying this price? I don't. I take the Nats here or nothing.
Yeah, I like Sproat pitched well against the Reds. I don't want to fade him or the Mets, but you're right. The price is too expensive. The problem for me with taking Washington is that they kind of suck right now. They're not playing very well. But that being said, yeah, it's dog or pass when you're talking about a price like this for me, no question. All right, Boston and Tampa Bay. We've got Boston minus 140 road favorite, 6.5 the total. Tampa Bay is going to be one of these teams that's going to be, I think, feisty down the stretch. Blue Jays, only got a split in 4 games with the Rays. So I don't want to fade them as home underdogs here, especially Drew Rasmussen. He's very capable, solid numbers. But Boston's got Crochet. They need the game, obviously. They got to try to hang on to that second wild card spot, just try to get closer to clinching a playoff spot. So, and I don't want to fade Boston with their ace on the mound. So I'm staying off this game entirely. Nothing for me. What do you think? Boston, Tampa.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot, too. Kind of a weird spot, a little bit lower price with Crochet on the road. When you see these two pitchers, think of under, but I mean, 6.5. I mean, that's, I don't know. That to me, I couldn't do. None of these guys really have great numbers, and I didn't look at the Red Sox. Do you have their pulled up here? I looked at the Rays against Crochet. They haven't really hit him.
Yeah, it looks like as far as Rasmussen is concerned, when you look at him against Boston in the past, good numbers overall this year. Rasmussen against the Red Sox, pretty good. 3 runs or less in 3 prior starts.
Yeah, Bregman's 3 for 12 with a homer. So yeah, he's still. So yeah, I'm off here. Just seems like a tough one. Maybe just a tight, low-scoring game. 3-2 type game.
All right, Toronto Blue Jays and Kansas City Royals. Max Scherzer, Michael Lorenzen in the pitching matchup. Blue Jays minus 140, road favorites, 9 the total here in this game. You've got Lorenzen on the mound for the Royals. I'm not a big fan of him. He has been roughed up 2 straight starts in a row. Minnesota, 4 runs, 7 hits, 5 innings. Phillies, 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 innings. Toronto coming off those they just didn't hit. But credit to Seymour and Boz. I mean, very, very impressive pitching performance against the Jays, just scoring 1 run in those 2 games combined. This feels like a good spot, though, for the Jays after those 2 losses. Scherzer pitched well last time, 2 runs, 5 innings against Baltimore. Now, he has had issues with the home run ball, but, the problem is that Kansas City's not exactly a home run hitting team. They lose 2 of 3 to both Philly and Seattle in their last 2 games. When you look at Scherzer against the Royals, he has dominated them. He kept them to 1 run in 6 innings back in August. So this is probably a Blue Jays spot for me, minus 140. I'd probably go Blue Jays and split it with the team total. I think the Jays offense can spring to life here. They're too good to be shut down again, and this is a hittable pitcher in Lorenzen. So I'd go Jays minus 140, team total over 4.5. C-Mac, Jays Royals.
Well, I like this is under to me. It's just at 9. I don't know. I think Scherzer's going to be pretty good here. Go, 5 innings, maybe give up a couple. And I don't know what we get from Lorenzen. This kind of line is, just stayed the same. I guess it's gone up a tad bit for the Jays, just but a little bit of a tough one. It's some money on the Royals, but it hasn't come down. So I was looking at the under, and there's a couple 8.5s, which is a good sign. There was just some factors that just kept me off the under here. That's what I'd be on, under.
Yeah, I think for Scherzer, it's a good spot for him. Kansas City doesn't hit a ton of home runs, and it's not a home run park either, Kauffman Stadium. So I think this is a chance for him to finally, I think, settle in, have a pretty good start for the Jays tonight. All right, Pod. Oh, by the way, shout out to Manny04 saying, appreciate that. You watched the Dolphins-Bills preview video I did yesterday. It was a great result, no doubt. Hit a lot of the team total over on the Bills. A lot of the props came
Just got there. The Bills
just got there. We'll take it, though. But
the Dolphins team total under was it 21.5?
I
think it was. Or was it 20? Yeah, it depends where you
early
look.
in the week, so it moved.
Yeah.
I know there was 20.5 out there at one point on it.
Yeah. That game I thought was just maybe go over, and it just did.
And it just did. All right, Padres and White Sox. We've got Padres minus 190, road favorites, 8 the total in this game. It is Dylan Cease against his old team in Chicago. This should be fun to watch against Davis Martin here for the White Sox in this game. Cease, better certainly. His last 3 starts have been really good. 2 runs or less in each of his last 3 starts. Davis Martin has been 2, 3, 4 type of run kind of guy, giving up 2, 3, 4 runs, 5, 6 innings. That's normally what you're going to get from him. We'll see how it goes. I like how this sets up for San Diego. They lost yesterday against the Mets. All their relievers are rested and ready. I think they win this game, but I'm just not going to take them with the price being what it is. C-Mac, what do you think? Padres, White Sox.
Yeah, it's moving to them. I think it's maybe not one to take the White Sox. Padres have owned them of late. This line's moving up. Maybe their team total over for the Padres, but I don't trust them enough. So in the end, I had to pass. They're thinking they hit here. Martin's, I don't know. It's tough to figure out. I think he's been pretty good at times at home, and he's gotten roughed up. And late in the year, these guys just should have not thrown a ton of innings, or they haven't in years. You got to look at that in these games.
All right, Marlins and Rangers. We've got the Texas Rangers minus 150, home favorites, 8 the total. They're pretty much done, Texas. They got swept by Houston. It's the worst case scenario. I think you can pretty much rule them out of the playoffs now after losing those 3 games to the Houston Astros. So I'm not excited about laying minus 150 with them, even with Tyler Mahle on the mound, who was pitching pretty well for them until he got injured. His last 2 starts before his stint on the IL, he did get roughed up. There's just no way I'm touching Texas after what just happened to them, laying minus 150. But Jansen Junk, his stuff's been kind of junk, at times for the Miami Marlins. So not sure I'm ready to trust him at this point in time. The Marlins are a team that, I know they swept the Rockies, and believe it or not, they're 7-1 in their last 8 games. They played well. I don't know if I trust Junk, but I'd lean Marlins. I really would. I think it's a soul crusher for Texas getting swept, and who knows how they're going to react and respond tonight. I'm not laying minus 150 to figure it out. C-Mac, what do you think?
Marlins or nothing here in this game. Rangers are back at home. And this is a classic Marlins leave Colorado. It's not always a good sign, too. Sometimes the bats go cold, that whole thing. But one spot they've been very good all year is as a road dog, even though Junk hasn't been really, really good. So Marlins are passing this game.
They're not technically out, Texas, 4 games, but it feels like it. Like that's to me with 1 week left. You're gonna have a hard time.
It's
that ground. Yeah,
it's tightening here.
Yeah. So I still lean Miami. I agree with that. All right, how about this series? Battle for first in the AL West. What a big time weekend series this is. Seattle and Houston, they are tied, deadlocked for first in the AL West entering this series. Brian Wu, Hunter Brown, you've got like an ace versus ace almost here. Minus 110 both sides, 7.5 the total. Well, co-ace, Logan Gilbert, I would say, is probably a co-ace on this Seattle staff. But Wu's been almost every bit as good. Like, he's been consistent, 2 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts, 3.03 ERA during that span. Hunter Brown's been excellent, of course, all year. 1.44 ERA in his last 5 starts, 2.27 ERA overall, 2.25 ERA at home. I mean, it feels like two good pitchers bet the under for sure, but both bats are swinging it now. Teams, I should say. Houston, their offense has come to life, 17 runs in 3 games against Texas. Seattle's swinging the bat really well. That's the only fear of taking the under. These two lineups are in great form right now, but these are two really good pitchers too, the Wu and Brown going head to head here. So it's tough. I'm torn on the side. I'm torn on the total, really. Two offenses are good, but two pitchers are good. I like Brown, but I like Wu. So, yeah, this is a good game to watch, but it's not one I have a strong opinion on. So I didn't bet it. C-Mac, what do you think?
I think it's a spot. This game could be low scoring with both how good these pitchers are. Brown, for the most part, it's good numbers. Wu's had pretty good numbers. At times, he's had good starts against the Astros. I want to fade him here, though. I think he's pitched a lot better on the road. Is he on his second or third straight road start? Second straight?
For Wu is his. Let me just see. Wu is.
Oh no, he had 2 home starts. My bad.
Yeah.
I thought he was back to back 2 earns. Yeah. The place I want to fade him is on the road. So this to me is the Astros bet. And you talked about the offenses have been a little bit better because when you look at this, you think under. But I just think the Astros is the move here.
All
give
right,
me Brown at this price. Give me Brown.
What can Brown do for you? Cash a ticket, hopefully. We'll see if that is indeed the case tonight.
What can Brown do for you, baby?
All right, Cleveland and Minnesota, the hottest team in baseball right now, actually. Cleveland Guardians. Wow, what a run. Minus 115 road favorites, 8 the total. I'm on Cleveland. I'm just riding them until they lose. And they, I know they've swept Detroit. They have no room for error to think letdown. They got to keep pedal to the metal, keep winning. There's no hangover after sweeping Detroit. You got to keep it rolling here. But they are 7 straight wins, 9-1 in their last 10 games. Parker Messick is going to get the start here for the Guardians. He's actually pitched well. They're 3-1 in his last 4 starts. He's given up 1 run or fewer in 3 of those 4 starts. So the lefty Parker Messick has really pitched well for the Guardians. Look, it's not the easiest thing in the world to bet against Pablo Lopez. He's a pretty good pitcher for the Twins. He's pitched, pretty solid in his first 2 starts back. 2 runs, 6 innings against KC, 2 runs in 5 innings against Arizona. But, when a team's red hot like this, a winnable matchup. Bullpen edge, too, for Cleveland. Cleveland bullpen's been really good lately. And the Minnesota bullpen, as we've talked about a lot on this show, has not been any good since the trade deadline. So give me the Guardians here. The red hot Cleveland Guardians, minus 115. C-Mac, what do you think?
You know what? The one thing here I think is Messick in this start because he's looked very good. But as I've seen his stuff and down in the minors and what he has, I mean, he's a pretty good crafty lefty. I worry he could get. Twins have been good against lefties a little bit lately. We talk about all these overs that they've had. And how many lefties, real quick, do they have in their lineup? Is their lineup out?
I will check that now. Let's see if the lineup's been put out for this game. But it looks like as of now, this is an 8 Eastern start, so it wouldn't shock me if the lineup's out. Yes, it is. We've got
2 or 3 of them.
We got Buxton, Austin Martin, Luke Keyshaw, Brooks Lee, Royce Lewis, Cody Clemens, Carson McCusker, Johnny Pareda, and James Outman. So we got
Outman's an out. Outman's an out at the end against a lefty. But yeah, Keyshaw's back as well. He's had some good games. So that's him because I think Pablo Lopez could pitch well. Real quick, just to hit on it, Quan has good numbers. So Jose Ramirez, we talked about 9 for 22, professional hitter, no home runs, but I think Lopez could pitch well. I think this is an under. I just worry about Messick. And why? It seems like everyone's going to be here on Cleveland in this game a little bit. This line's come down, not a ton, but all the money on them. I think the Twins could scratch a few off in this first. So it's them. I lean them. I kind of lean this. There's 4.5. The first 500 4.5. It's like minus 140 or the 4's even money. I'm looking at that. I think these pitchers could be good enough here. We got a little, not the best weather in this game. So I'm looking at under early and lean Twins.
All right, next up, this is a dead nuts over here. Angels and Rockies. Angels minus 125, road favorites, 12. I know it's a high total, but these Rockies games are starting to soar over the total again. All 3 home games against Miami, 11, 12, 16. They all went over the total. This Bradley Blaylock is horrific. He's given up, 24 runs in his last, 15 innings. That's awful. He's given up 8 home runs during those 20 innings as well. 8. So he has been just pathetic, Bradley Blaylock. And this Mitch Ferris is not a ham sandwich either. I mean, he's given up 5 runs, 5 hits in the last 4 innings. It's not good for him either. He got roughed up by Seattle. How is this not over territory? These 2 teams right now. Rockies over. Even the Angels have been giving up a lot of runs lately during their 7-game losing streak. They're giving up 7, 5, 11, 9, 9, 5. Their bullpen's back to being bad again. So, yeah, I like over here. C-Mac, what do you think?
Pass. I think the Angels can win. I just don't love the price. Is a little,
yeah.
So I'm pass.
I agree. 7-game losing streak, and I got to lay minus 125 on the road. Yeah, I can probably find better things to do.
Even as bad as the Rockies have been, they have scored some more runs lately. It's just tough.
Phillies and Diamondbacks. Arizona minus 125, home favorites, 9 the total. Thanks for Phillies. God, that's frustrating, man. They weren't flat after clinching the NL East, and they beat the Dodgers and scored 9 runs. Last night, they were flat. That was the night to bet against the Phillies. They were shut down by the Dodgers. There's not a lot at stake right now. Well, I guess the number 1 seed, they're still battling with the Brewers for that, but they're going to get a bye. They're going to finish top 2. So, is it a big deal, 1 versus 2 in the National League? You're going to get a bye to the divisional series anyway. So Phillies aren't a team I'm going to be running to bet on here down the stretch. And Arizona's playing for their lives, obviously. Still hanging around in the NL wildcard trail in the Mets. I don't trust Taijuan Walker. Ryan Nelson's a pitcher that normally when he's at home, I trust him a little bit more. Now, he's had his ups and downs too, smiles and frowns. Ryan Nelson, as far as pitching is concerned, but he still does have a 3.08 overall ERA, and he's been a lot better. 3 of his last 4 starts, he's given up 1 run or fewer. So his current form is a lot better. I like Zona here, minus 125. C-Mac, what do you think?
Arizona, hanging around. I like that. Been hanging around. Thought that's what you said that.
They are. They can make it.
Counting Crows action there. Yep. Both these pitchers off good starts. So I don't want to back him. Buehler has looked a bit better. To me, he's a bit of a fade on the road. So I lean D-backs. Maybe D-backs team total is just the way to go.
I'm going to add that to the team total. I will, because the last
I've been looking at it. I wrote it here.
Starts, the other team has scored 5 and 6 runs in the last 2 starts by Taijuan Walker. So if we can get 5 runs out of
Is Buehler the primary though? Right after him. That's right. Though Walker for an inning.
Yep.
And then Buehler. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm still checking. So yeah, I think that's what I had written down here. I just haven't bet that yet.
All right, there we go. Arizona. Yeah, I'm going to do money line team total over split in that one. All right, last game. Here it is. The final regular season start at home for Clayton Kershaw, who announced that he is retiring after the season yesterday, bringing an end to his Hall of Fame career. Dodgers minus 180, home favorites 8.5, the total. He's done it like MVP of the National League, Cy Young winner multiple times, unbelievable longevity. He's been able to stay healthy a lot, just crafty. He never threw hard, but lit up the radar gun, but he always was crafty.
96 is decent.
Yeah, it is.
You throw that in his heyday.
Still,
he had some heat.
Pitcher, tremendous regular season pit. The only thing that you can nitpick about his unbelievable career is the postseason track record. That's the only thing that the playoff track that's the only thing missing. And it sucks to say that because he's a great guy. Now, how do you not like Clayton Kershaw? He's always been in there in the dugout or in the clubhouse after a loss and a bad start, answering, being accountable to the media, taking it on, saying, hey, I was bad today. And he never ducked from his responsibilities. He'd always, answer, to the media, even after a bad game and a bad start. Ultimate professional. It just sucks that, there's going to be some people I know talking about, but he didn't have pitch his best in the playoffs. That's true. The playoff ERA is 4, whatever it is. It's disappointing because he's done everything else to an unbelievably great level. But at the end of the day, look back on the good things, will you? At this time, he's had a long career.
He's got a couple rings. So there's a lot of great pitchers that never got there. I mean, you can look at it a little bit the other way, you know.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's too many Debbie Downers out there after the announcement yesterday, focusing and fixating on his postseason record. I'm like, come on, it's not the time for that. Let's celebrate.
By the way,
yeah,
he should have won probably a couple more Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
No offense to it. I mean, for 6 years or 7 years, he's the best pitcher on the planet, hands down. And he won 3. I think he should have at least won 4 or 5.
Yeah.
If you go back and look.
It's very possible he could have, no question. And you know what's nice, too, is he's going out with a very respectable, solid, final regular season as a major league player.
Yeah, he's not a bad year for how fucking bad the Dodgers have been at times.
I mean, 3.53 ERA. How can you complain? That's solid. 3.53 ERA on the year for Clayton Kershaw. Now, he did just face the Giants 6 days ago, and he got kind of roughed up, and he had control issues. 4 walks, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 innings against San Francisco. Now he gets to face them again here. But there's no chance I'm fading the Dodgers in this spot. It's going to be an emotional night. They want to send him off probably with a victory here, his final home game ever at Dodger Stadium. And then on the flip side, you got Robbie Ray, who's not pitched well lately. 5 runs or more he's allowed 3 of his last 4 starts. 7.83 ERA, Robbie Ray, in his last 5 starts. The Dodgers crushed him last time they saw him just 5 days ago. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers in 4 innings against Ray. So just because, look, I'll be watching. It's a special night. It's final home start in the regular season. I dabbled in Dodgers run line. -1 run line on the LA Dodgers tonight. See if they can send Clayton Kershaw off the mound with a victory in his final regular season home start at Dodger Stadium. Mary Hart will be there in the first row. Book it. She'll definitely with her little blue shirt on or jacket, whatever it is. And then she takes off after the 6th inning, I notice, after every game. She's never there at the end. It's like she gives her seat up to someone.
She don't want to hang around for that shitty bullpen.
Yeah.
Shit, she wants out. Beat the traffic.
Beat the traffic and don't have to see the bullpen fucking cough up a lung and give the game away. Actually, I don't blame her for doing that, quite honestly. But what do you think here, C-Mac? Giants, Dodgers?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be off of this game. These two teams just hate each other, so I just don't love that. No, Giants would love to beat it after it's all hyped up as Dodger Stadium ceremony, the whole thing. I mean, I want to see him pitch well, but I look out Adames a little bit. Of course, Flores always talk about him. I think he hit a jack yesterday in the game. Always eats lefties. Not the best numbers against Kershaw. On the flip side, these were kind of the props since we're at the last game. Kike Hernandez, 5 bombs off Robbie Ray. Put a little something on him. RBI plus 190. A homer right around 5-1 there. It's Hernandez 5 for 13, 2 homers. His jack is plus 350. So look for those 2 guys off Robbie Ray, who's been a little bit shaky. And this is difficult. They didn't have their best outings when they just saw him. This would have been great if they pitched well. We could see more runs. So they pitch better here, in the week. Just the next week, that's always a little bit different when we talk about all the time here, handicapping baseball. So that's another reason. If he didn't just face the Giants, these teams to pitch, maybe, everybody. I'll be watching. Shout out to Kershaw.
Yeah, it'll be a great night for sure. I mean, this was kind of. I think we all expected this could be the last year for him, but we were never sure. But it's just when you suddenly hear it, just right now announced that. But I don't blame him. He's had a long career, and he's.
I don't blame him too. He could go one more year, I guess. Yeah. He could have, but he pitched well. I mean, he's kind of had a rough couple last starts, but he's 10-2, like you talked about. 3.5 ERA, shit. At this point, I'll take it. Pitch well in the postseason if he's got a spot start.
That would be awesome, right? Could you imagine if finally he's going to give you maybe the best playoff postseason pitching performance he's had? Because that's been his issues, obviously. We got to call it out.
He pitched pretty good in 2020.
Yes.
Let's not in that World Series. He got a little redemption, I thought, in those playoffs after the heat.
Yeah, that he took. Yeah. Exactly. But I think the positives totally, when it comes to Clayton Kershaw, outweigh the negatives 100% with his career.
For a fact.
No
Yes.
doubt. You still have to
Definitely.
appreciate the professionalism, man. That he could have had a terrible game. Every one of those starts where he had a rough time in the playoffs, did he ever duck the media? Did he ever not answer and respond in the post game? Never.
No, he took it. Yeah.
He did, and that's professionalism. Yeah. That's how it's done. I don't blame Dodger fans, by the way, for being pissed off that this game is Apple TV exclusive. I mean, and that MLB won't budge and put it on the local Dodger network that always has the Sportsnet LA, whatever, with Joe Davis and Oral, so that they can do the game. That's ridiculous. That's a disgrace. I mean, come on. I know you're bloodhounds for money, Apple.
You can't. I was gonna say it's set in stone for they can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the final home game for Clayton Kershaw, final home start, and Dodger fans can't hear their own broadcasters because it's Apple TV exclusive. That's a little rough. Come on, that's a little rough to take. If I were a Dodger fan, I wouldn't be that thrilled about it. I got to listen to the Apple TV crew and instead of Joe and Oral when it's his final start, of ever at Dodger Stadium in the regular season. I mean, that's unfortunate. I don't blame him for being a little angry about that. Shout out to the chat. Get Funnied, Art P, Stephen Hairston, Thomas Maggio, Mark A, Timothy Hake, Dram Yankee, Nick Alvento, Daryl Turner, Al Gore, Christian Rivas, Oli, Manny 04, Turnbuckle, Tommy, Rich H. Thank you to everyone for joining us here on this edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. Again, we're with you for 3 more baseball shows next week. Final week of the regular season, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And, of course, college football Hitting the Books back again Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Check out the show on Monday from this past week if you didn't already. We've posted clips already. All the game clips or individual game preview clips are on the YouTube channel as well. I'm going to post a lot more on Twitter. The Saturday games coming up later tonight, so we'll get those out there for people to pick which game they want to see us talk about. So make sure you check all that out. And, of course, we'll be back Monday with another edition of college football Hitting the Books. All right, it's best bet time to wrap it up. C-Mac, what do you like for your best bet?
Yeah, and if you haven't, which I'm sure most of you guys have, but go watch the games tonight if you want. They are up, as well. Rutgers, Iowa, and Tulsa, Oklahoma State. All right, I had that Astros circled, but give me this one. I got even money. It's the best line that I got. Cleveland Twins, first 5 under 4 plus 100. That's my best bet.
There you go. Cleveland, Minnesota under for C-Mac with his best bet. My best bet for this card, boy, there's a lot. You know what? I like the price. I like the spot. I like the pitching matchup because the Yankees pitcher, Will Warren, has not been good on the road. Rogers has been great. I'm going to take Baltimore. Baltimore plus 105 for my best bet here. Baltimore Orioles to get it done against the New York Yankees. Baltimore plus 105 for my best bet here for this Friday MLB card. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. Yes, can't wait. Hockey is almost back from Broke Ass Bookie. Good Panthers fan. He was on one of our Ice Guys live betcasts last year. Yes, it is almost back. Can't wait for that. C-Max saying you like Houston. Astros, I assume, Steven, is what you're asking about. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the Astros today.
Yep, there you go, Houston. And, I went with Baltimore. Sorry, Steven, but Trevor Rogers has been just terrific for me for the last month or two. It's not really an anti-Yankee stance. It's just I've been back in Baltimore with him.
He's been dominant.
Not to mention,
he's been all right.
Will Warren stinks on the road, too, so that's a big part of it as well. He just hasn't pitched well away from home, so that's why I'm on Baltimore. Great stuff.
Trastros, yeah.
Everybody.
Fuck the Astros.
Yeah, Trastros, yeah.
I got my Astros asterisk shirt over there. Proudly wear that. Fuck them.
Yeah. Oh, you're a Yankee. That of course. Yeah, that's right, Steven. You are a Yankee fan. Yeah, once in a while you got to bet against them as a best bet. Tonight's one of those nights. But shout out to everyone. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night and a great weekend. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back with you on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific for the college football Hitting the Book show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace. Thanks, guys.